Today's video is all about understanding your machine and taking it to the next level. Target identification is so important when using a metal detector because you can waste a lot of time digging junk or ferrous targets. Do you rely on the audio? Do you rely on the meter? Do you rely on the settings? Now we're going to cover all these aspects in today's video, so without any further ado, let's get out there and find our first target. Now here's one which sounds pretty good. Have a listen, we're getting a good sound and a good number. Coming up at 71. But that is 100% iron. Now I've cheated here a little bit. I've turned the iron volume down so you're not getting an iron tone, an iron buzz. Have a listen to what it sounds like when I introduce some iron tone. So here's the sound. Good number. Iron volume 5. Now that is 100% iron. Now if I turn 90 degrees to it, 100% iron buzz. So that's why I always recommend you use the iron tone. It's there, use it to your advantage. Exactly the same as the last signal. We're getting a mixed bag of numbers there. But can you hear that iron tone, that buzz? Now if we turn the iron volume down, we can make that sound really, really good. Let's have a look here at the bottle cap reject. 5. That's almost completely turned that to iron. So let's start introducing the bottle cap reject one at a time. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think there, between 3 and 4 makes the biggest changes to that bottle cap reject. Let's just try something else. Let's have a look at the XY screen. Bottle caps off. Sensitive full tones, options, settings, profile, XY. Now this is normally quite a good indicator of a misshaped iron. So here we go. Can you see that's a disrupted line? It's really, really ugly, isn't it? It's going round and round, whereas a coin would be a straight diagonal, just in one direction. Perhaps with a little bit of deviation. Let's have a look. That's the only way to really find out if that's iron or not. You can probably hear there Steve's pinpointer going off. See, now it's pretty much turned to iron. Probably noticed there on the back of my MI6 pinpointer I've glued a magnet just to sometimes make life a little bit easier if I'm looking for iron. Nothing there, so here we go. There's your iron, look, here it is. As you can see there, it's got a hole in it, which is always a problem for identifying things, and it sticks to game pointer. So there's your iron, exactly what we thought it was. I think that's a part of the same original target, just a little bit deeper, look. Now sometimes the machine can give a good signal if it's on the edge of big iron. Guess what? I've got an example. That sounds good, doesn't it? But it sounds forced to me. It sounds very, very forced. The signal isn't flowing. It's almost got square edges to it rather than a smooth hump. But the actual iron is over here somewhere, but because the coil's picking up here, you'd automatically think that that was a good target just there. Now I'm going to mark this with my heel just to show you that this is picking up big iron but on the edge. Picking up here. Don't forget that's where we got the signal. Finishes there. There you go. Watch out for that one. The XY screen is a fantastic indicator of iron, especially the misshaped iron, which can catch out the audio sometimes. But also bear in mind that the XY screen is kind of reliable for the more shallow targets. The deeper targets don't rely on it so much, and this is where the audio comes into play. Some deep targets will give a disrupted XY screen without a shadow of a doubt. This is where you've really got to hone your skills and learn your machine. First of all, a really nice faint sound, which is telling us the target is small or deep. But the XY screen, not so good, is it? Because it's a deep target. In this instance, the deep target, the nice sound, the audio's now become the dominant feature we're following. Coming up at around 80. Right down the bottom. Still going. Just trying to move some stones at the moment. There we go. I think that's moved it. Once again, working around the outside of the target, just removing stones and debris just to loosen the dirt off. I'm not going directly onto the target, I'm working around it. There we go. It's out, and it is another one of those lead discs. If you said that was a digger, well done to you. If you said that was iron, back to the classroom. Here's another piece of iron which may catch you out. It's giving quite a good number, but can you see there the XY screen? No. The XY screen's all over the place. So what happens if we do the wiggle and draw the coil back? I'm pretty sure it's going to turn into a distinctive iron buzz. Let's give it a try. Little wiggle, bring the coil back. There you go. Back on the target. There you go, 100% iron. Now that saved us a bit of time, hasn't it? Quite a straight line there, can you see that? This is potentially a good target, but it's still got a very faint iron fringe with it. Now there's a reason for that, and I'll tell you in a minute after we've dug this target out. So here we go. And there we have it. Nothing to be proud of. Just an aluminium bottle cap. Now I was just saying about that iron buzz. Let's check the same piece of ground and see if we get an iron tone from it. And there it is, there's your iron tone, telling us it was indeed a non-ferrous target next to a ferrous target. So always bear that in mind. If there is an iron buzz with the target and you think it's a good target, always have a look at it. And another thing what can generate an iron buzz is actually the ground itself. If the ground is very iron rich, you're going to get that fringe iron buzz with most deep targets. The deeper it is, the worse the iron buzz become, because the ground starts to contaminate the actual signal. I think a lot of us make the mistake, me included, of jumping into the adjustments of a machine before actually learning its quirks, learning what it's telling you. And I think it's far more important to learn your machine before you start making adjustments, because the factory default programs do a pretty good job, and then it's up to us to really interpret the sounds, isn't it? Well, okay, I think that's the end of this video, because the heavens have opened, it's pouring down with rain, and I'm just sheltering under this tree. I hope that's given you a little bit of an insight into target recognition. Sometimes it's all about understanding your machine. Although the machines have got adjustments like bottle cap reject, silencer, discrimination and things like that, all these adjustments, when they're too high, you stand the chance of missing some potentially good targets. So I personally think you're much better off understanding your machine and the signal quality it gives in order to make your detecting a little bit more successful. As we saw there in the video, we can use the XY screen for the more shallow targets, and the deeper targets we can trust the audio a little bit more, and the wiggle method, that iron tone is valuable. It's absolutely essential that you have the iron tone on, I personally believe anyway. So I hope that's given you a little bit of an insight into target identification, and this indeed will speed up your detecting and you can cherry pick the better targets. But without a shadow of a doubt, don't be frightened to investigate some of those suspicious ones. Well, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the XP newsletter, this channel and the XP Facebook groups, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Bye for now.